believe Mexico City is the largest city in the world. Absolute modern metropolis. It's still very much Mexican though. You can see the history of Mexico written on its walls. It's beautiful architecture, it's cosmopolitan, there's a big sense of culture there, a big multinational feel to the place, but doesn't lose sight of its Mexican identity either.
I think that there is a sound that is developing in Mexico, made by Mexican producers, although I wouldn't say it's Mexican in the sense of classic Mexican cliche, sombrero, tequila munching, burro riding shit. No, it's good music, man. It does sound different from the rest, and I think Mexican artists will be, in the very near future, will have their own sound, like the Romanians or the Germans or the Russians.
Last year I went to Europe to play, and I was playing at some places, and some people would say like, oh, sounds really Mexican. I don't know, it's kind of like a dark vibe, but super groovy, not super fast on the BPM.
I'm a resident at two Mexican clubs. M and Roy is a very unique space. Architecturally incredible. There's a real feel that they've thought about the space. Even the DJ booth feels like you're playing in some kind of modern Anglican chapel.
M and Roy, the name of the club, comes from the house where the actual club is. And there was this particular man, he was from India. He was an activist and he was exiliated from India and he came to live to Mexico, which turns out that their friends call him M and Roy. He started like the first communist party in Mexico, and they used to have these secret meetings at this house.
Pues la diferencia del Roy a otros lugares en México es la música. La música es increíble. O sea, aún el peor día del Roy es la mejor música que puedes escuchar en cualquier otro lugar en México. Y la verdad, la gente es increíble, hay un poco de todo.
Well, we started Topaz in November 2007, and basically we started it because we wanted to give the city a proper place without all protocols that were around in the other clubs and other places in the city, not having stupid rules of dress code or some kind of people try to be all-inclusive and really driven by the music, you know.
Well, Topaz has been one of the most honest clubs in Monterray, because it has been very clear in its idea of what dance is and what the relationship with the people that go there.
When I started playing, not at Topaz, but at house parties with my friends and that stuff, my first goal as a DJ was to play at Topaz.
This effort from the guys from Topaz has really set sort of a platform in Monterray where it's definitely not a huge scene. In a way, I think that's also part of what puts some value into it, that it's a risk, you know.
There were some difficult times because it was like a new stuff here in the city, and you like really didn't know what to do or what was going to happen or if you were in danger, but for sure you don't felt safe at those times, you know.
We've had conservative right-wing government since 2000. It was sold as the triumph of the opposition, but in practice it became slowly a police state, which is what we have now. And after 2005 and 6, we have the justification for a police state, which is a scapegoat called the drug war.
They're starting to be around in clubs, and so people got really scared. But otherwise, we felt that it was our responsibility to keep going on with this scene, you know.
Cool thing about Topaz and the things that it has brought to the city is that during this wave, it has really stood its ground and has been, I think, I could brave to say, the only warrior that somehow survive this part. I mean, call it luck or call it, I don't know, good planning or smart managing. The pressure was there. The people that are now involved in what's happening in the city and trying to sort of bring more of hope again into what we can build in a city like Monterrey, where there's tons of talent and tons of great people to really create cool scene.
Pues yo siento que ahora vivir en México es un poco complicado. Hay muchas cuestiones políticas y sociales que es un poco difícil. Y tal vez también por eso necesitamos un poco de desahogue y este tipo de lugares que nos hacen como pensar en que pues todo puede salir mejor y que hay algo donde distraerte y disfrutar.
As a touring DJ who travels around the world, Mexico has a very singular and unique identity. I think partly born of the fact that the music, while having existed here for a long time, is now really starting to take a foothold in the country. And as such, you feel like you're involved in something that's new, fresh and exciting. There is a slight sense of jaundice or jadedness or just familiarity around places that this has been happening for a long time. So it's very nice to be somewhere where people are still genuinely excited.
I think that Mexico has become a crossing point between South and North America, and I think that this is just getting started, you know? Like more and more people are paying attention to the scene down here, and DJs, I mean, they want to get out of their way just to come here and play in places like Roy, you know?
For me, it's an experience that every year I get to work with even more artists internationally, but even more important, the guys that are from Mexico that are playing with these guys. I mean, sometimes it's you know, if you were to have a blind test, you wouldn't know which one is the Mexican artist and which is the international headliner, because it's just great music that you hear.
It's been really educational coming to Mexico. One, it's nice to be involved with something where it's a new movement and be there for the start of something. And the other thing is I find that I'm getting a lot back from Mexican culture, getting a lot back from the Mexican musical approach. It's bringing back some enthusiasm for me. It's making things exciting again. It feels like I'm at the beginning of something that's only going to get bigger, and that's really rewarding.